And it is a fact that the people that you're around have an amazing impact on you. What did they say? Is it 5 people that you are the sum of the 5 people that you hang around? Man, can that affect my health? Can that affect how I behave? Can that affect how I eat? Can that affect me in that way? And the answer is yes. Welcome back to Limitless Living here at Dwain Woode MD Live. I'm so excited that you are here to join me because that's what we're talking about. We are walking through the limitless living pathway. And I'm Dr. Dwain Woode. If you're new to me, that's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here on the channel, I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life, avoid complications, and go to the next level. We're creating that life that we've always wanted. And we are living a limitless life, which says that we're not allowing anything from outside of us, no relationships. We're not allowing anything from inside of us, no feelings, no memories, no hurt to prevent us from doing what we need to do. We are showing up with our best selves, our best health, and our best plans for our life. If you're new, go ahead and put new in the comments because I'd love to welcome you with a hand clap and some music, and let you know that I am excited that you are here. If you have comments, if you have questions, go ahead and drop those in the chat and put a Q in front of it because I'd love to get to those as we move through our episode tonight. You will find that we are just an excited little group. And we love to have people come through. So if there are some folks that you don't see that you know should be here, go ahead and drop them a line. Let them know, hey, come on, we're in the saddle. We're in the saddle. We're doing what we do, and we are here. We've been walking through lots of different things, and we'll talk about that as we get into the show. But you know how we do. We're going to take a look at my monitors. We're going to take a look at my meters here in just a minute so you can see what's been going on with my blood sugar. And I want you also to drop in the chat. All right, here's the question for you. Do you have a friend that you can pick up the phone and call at any time? Yes or no? This is just a yes, no question. It's just simple. Do you have a friend that you can pick up the phone and call anytime? All right? I want you to drop that in because that's very important. We had Dr. Dang, Man Dang's, oh wow, we're going back now, probably about 2 years on the show. He's an oncologist. And we had an amazing conversation with him as we talked about the effect of community on health. Now, this is an oncologist, that is a cancer doctor. And one of the things that he said in that conversation has stuck with me forever since then. And he said that the people who do better, the people who seem to be resilient, the people who seem to fight their diseases, the people who seem to come through, and I'm not going to say unblemished, but the people who seem to come through most often are those people who are connected with community. And so community is a very important part of our health. And so we're going to spend some time talking about that here in just a minute. I've got my monitors off to the side, which we're going to take a look at. And I see some of our community members that are out there. So we're going to say hi to them and just kind of get into our show. But let's see, let's pull up, let's do this one. So yeah, there we are. So here are my monitors, which we'll take a look at. Down a little below, you'll see that's my Dexcom Clarity, and we'll take a look at those numbers. Now we ended our fast last week, and so you'll get to see what my blood sugars have been doing since that time. And we will also be talking about kind of a review of our path that we've been on so far. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I want to do is let's take a look at blood sugars. And so this is what my Libre says that my blood sugar is right now. You'll see that. And right here, right about there, that's squiggly white line. Those are my blood sugars according to the Libre. Right now it's 75. I'm not fasting, by the way. And let's take a look at This is my Dexcom Clarity, say 96, and you'll see that those numbers are a bit different. And I tell people that for me, when I compare the Dexcom and the Libre, they tend to be about 20, 25 points off from each other. So my Libre tends to be the one that is the lower, and my Dexcom tends to be the one that is higher. And so what I want to do is that go ahead and we're going to hop over and take a look at what my Contour and my Keto Mojo meters are saying, and we can go ahead and compare those. So let's go ahead and do that right now. I'm going to run into my container, and let's see. I hope. Okay, there it is. I have one of the Lancets that I like. Let's get this one over here. Get this off the screen so we can see all of this. And I don't use a lancing device, as you guys know. We just kind of get there. Let me go ahead and I'm going to grab a test strip. This is for the Contour, and this is just to show what these. So this is 4. So now we have the Libre, we have the Dexcom, and we have a Contour and a Keto Mojo. So the brown right here is glucose. So go ahead and get that off. And then the blue that you'll see right here, that is the one for ketones. So we'll open that as well, so it'll be off to the side. Let's get a stick. All right, boom, 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 and ow, 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 ow. I think that should give me a good flow. I hope. Yeah, there it is. So we're gonna go ahead and get this started, and that is the Keto Mojo. Get a drop for the Contour. We'll need another drop for the ketone. So 82. And let me pop this one back up. So 82 is what this says. 84 is what the Contour says. And of course, you'll see right there is the Dexcom. Let's go ahead and get this strip out. This is my ketone strip. And as you know, we've been having some challenges with the ketone part of this. So let's see what we see today. And so right now I'm not fasting, so I'm expecting that should be pretty low in terms of ketones. So we'll go ahead and just drop that in right now so we could see. 0.8. So interesting. Okay. So I'm not fasting, but apparently I'm doing a pretty good job of the things I'm eating and staying in ketosis. So I like that. Which means that I'm burning fat. Now, the other thing that I want to do is let's hop over to this screen, because I do want to show this and this is my weight from today. 189. You guys remember, March 3rd of last year we won 188, and so we've been trying to kind of stay around there. I've got and it doesn't show it for some reason. See down at the bottom, see all of these parameters? For some reason, it did not pick that up. But what I want to do, and we'll talk more about this as we move through the season, the goal, so a lot of these were actually in the red. For instance, my weight was in the red. My BMI was in the red. I think my body fat was in the red. And so I've been working to get them out of the, so it's red. I think it's a blue, amber color. There's a blue after that, and then green is where things are where they're supposed to be, right? So we've been working on kind of getting them out of the red. And so now all my things should be out of the red, but we'll talk more about that at another time. The other thing is, let's hop over, and here is my Keto Mojo. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that synced and pull the information over. And that way we can see, and drum roll, and of course we saw the ketones, right? 0.8 is where we were. I'll make some more comments about that at the end. So you guys remind me. I want to make a comment about ketones. All right. So I wanted to get all of that out of the way, right? So now you know what the numbers are, the ketones are, where my blood sugars are, and you've seen the differences between the meters. We've got the Contour, we've got the Libre, we've got the Keto Mojo, and we have the Dexcom. So all the numbers, and you've seen them there as we've gone across, and the ketones 0.8. And so I'll have to do a show where we show you what we've eaten, and that's going to be an extensive show. So starting from Friday night, and then Saturday, and then Sunday, and then of course our main show here is on Monday. So we'll come back and we'll work that out, see how we get that done. All right. So let's go ahead, and I want to hop over and say hello, because I do see some of our community members out there. So we want to say hi to you. And let's see, who do we have? Let's start from the top here. And I think Teresa was the very first. So, hey, Teresa. She said, hi, doctor and everyone. Hey, Teresa, glad to see you. Pam says, hello, everyone. Cornelia says hello. And Pam, I think, is answering the question that I asked. Do you have a friend that you can pick up the phone and call at any time? Let me go back. I don't think you guys saw all of those. Let's back. All right, so here's Teresa. Here is Pamela. Cornelia saying hello. And Pam says, yes, she does have a friend that she can pick up the phone and call at any time. And I think I know that friend, Pam. Is that the one that's planning to cook some food for me? Tell her she can be my friend too. I will pick up the phone and call. And then Cornelia likewise is answering yes to that very same question about having a friend. So very good. So let's hop into our conversation. And to really get into the conversation, let's go back and talk about what we're doing and why we're doing what we're doing. You will recall that our goal is on reversing diabetes. We're talking to adults with type 2 diabetes. We're talking to adults with type 2 diabetes who want to reverse their diabetes, get off of medication. But we're also extrapolating that, because remember, diabetes is actually on the spectrum at the extreme end of what we term metabolic diseases. So diabetes is like the prototypic. It's like the big boy. It's the one, is the 1,000-pound gorilla that comes through. And so our goal is reversing diabetes. But as we're working to reverse diabetes, the tools that we are using, the tools that we're working on, the tools that we have access to, the tools that we're learning, also will help us as we deal with things like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, obesity, polycystic ovarian syndrome, fatty liver, and we can go down that road. So all of the things that we're learning are with the intention of improving our metabolism. Because remember, dysregulated metabolism is the key problem. And if we can right the metabolism, if we can get that working well, then we set ourselves up for success in all of those areas. And so several episodes ago, we introduced the Limitless Living Inventory. This wasn't just like a worksheet or a reflection. It was actually a mirror, a way for us to see where we are across multiple domains. And so we came up with what we call the domains of health. And these are the domains of your life. And those domains fall in a wheel, right? So physical, mental, emotional, psychological, social, relational. And so we've been walking through that path. We've been walking through this mini series on the domains of health. We've done the physical, we've done the emotional, we've done the mental, we've done the spiritual. And in this episode, we're talking about the social. And if you wanted to, you could put a slash there, social/relational. And I think I may go back and do that so that we understand what that means. So social/relational health. So as we're talking about these domains, these are actually parts of our health. So when we say physical, it's not just physical, it's the physical health. Remember, the body, the physical, the body is the mechanism. It is the car. It's the vehicle, if you will, that takes us through our life. And so if we can take care of the physical part of our body, then we have a good vehicle. The emotional health has to do with how we respond to the things that happen. So when something happens outside of us, somebody says something to us, some difficult situation that we find ourselves in, It has no power until we infuse meaning into it. The moment we give meaning to it, we have a feeling, and that feeling generates an emotion. Right? So the physical body, physical health, is this thing that we're taking care of. The emotional health is how we are in our minds assigning value or assigning meaning to the things that are going on around us. And that then gives us an emotion. Our mental health is the driver, because how we think about things, how we see things, the lens through which we are viewing the world is what directs how we behave and the meaning that we give to all the things that are happening to us. And the spiritual health is the renewing. That's the thing that lifts us up. That's the thing that gives us the power, infuses us with the ability to move through our life. So they are all important in their own right because they all have an impact on our health. And likewise, relational health is important as well. Relational health is one of those pillars that we can't get by without. It is not optional. It is not I can take care of that later. It is not, I'll take care of all the other parts and I'll come back to that. Remember, the idea behind the limitless living inventory and the domains is that the domains make up a wheel. The wheel is what we're driving on. Think of the wheels on a car. And when the wheel is symmetrical, the car runs smoothly. It's going down the road and it's taking us where we need to go. But if something happens to the wheel, if the wheel gets, you get a flat tire, or you get a bleb, or something happens to the wheel, it gets bent as you're going down the road, then you can think of that car, right? Right? It's not moving smoothly. And so the limitless living inventory allows us to look at those domains and say, where do we need to address an issue so that that wheel now is running smoothly? So if we don't take care of each of those, we are actually creating a deficit in that wheel. And we miss a whole part of the story. And so we are walking through this mini series, and we're now talking about our relational or social relational health. That's the path that we're on right now. And so as we talk about our health, as we talk about relationships, I have a bunch of guys that I grew up with. We've known each other since, I was in the 7th grade, 7th grade that we've known each other. We went to college. I went to high school with one of them. Right. We spent a lot of time playing racquetball, handball at somebody's house. We went to college together. We roomed together. When I went on my trip recently to Jamaica, we went together. I pick up the phone and I can call them. I think I've mentioned in several spaces that several years ago I was going through some stuff, and I called them up and I said, hey, I need some support. And we met every Wednesday night on phone, right? Because we lived in different places. Every Wednesday night we met for between 10 to 12 years, every single night. And people knew, our families knew, our kids knew, our wives knew. Okay, we can't do anything right then because that's their time. And now as we're shifting into relational health, I want you to understand that your community is your environment. Your environment shapes your beliefs, it shapes your behavior, and ultimately it shapes your biology. And that biology has to do with the metabolism that we're talking about. And here's the truth I want you to carry away. If you don't carry anything else away, here's the truth. The relationships you invest in or ignore are directly impacting your metabolism. It's impacting your motivation. it's impacting your consistency, and it's impacting your momentum. Let me say it again. The relationships that you invest in or the ones you ignore are directly impacting your health by affecting your metabolism, motivation, consistency, and momentum. So let's talk about the power of connection. In there, we're going to talk about the danger of isolation and how we build a network that supports our health and our healing. Yeah, yeah. So metabolism, as we say, that is the thing that happens when our body takes food that we eat and converts it to energy. And so there are so many things that affect that process. From the things that we put in, that's the food we eat, to how the body responds to the food that we eat based on hormonal, psychological, neuronal changes, to how the body uses that in terms of our activities. That's modulated by sleep, for example, we talk about the physical domain. It's modulated by our ability to relax, as we discussed in our spiritual domain, our connection, the interpretation of the things that we see. So metabolism, we think of it as this thing comes in, we eat some food, it comes into the body, we use it up, and then what goes out. And we think of it as this linear, this thing that goes this way. But whatever we put in gets amalgamated, it gets affected by so much that is around us, or so much that's in us. So who you surround yourself with shapes your metabolism, because it shapes your mood, it shapes your motivation, and yes, even your medical outcomes. Yeah. So let's get to it. So why do relationships matter to health? Why do they matter to health? Well, research shows, and they did several studies, it shows that the people who you are socially connected, or people who are socially connected, live longer. Period. People who are socially connected tend to be longer living. People who are socially connected have healthier lives. People who are isolated socially have increased risk for chronic disease like diabetes, metabolic syndromes, metabolic diseases. They have increased risk for depression, so mental things. They have increased risk for ultimately premature death. So we talk about connection, we talk about why it's important. It's not just about avoiding loneliness, which is a thing on its own. And that was so much, it was brought to the forefront of our thinking as we went through the whole COVID era. Because we saw people who developed significant issues due to isolation. People who didn't know they didn't like to be isolated, where all of a sudden they're at the house by themselves. Moms and dads and grandparents and brothers and sisters, people who were used to being together, no longer could be together, and the loneliness had significant impact. We are still now even trying to figure out all the effects of the isolation that we had. So it's not just about avoiding loneliness, it's also about creating intentional, life-affirming connections that support us on our healing journey. So yes, I want you to be friends with people. Yes, I want you to be able to play basketball and soccer. And yes, I want you to be able to play card games. And yes, I want you to be able to talk. But ultimately, the connections that you have a significant impact on your longevity and on your life and on your chronic diseases. So when we're talking about this, we're talking about a significant part of what we need to do to be healthy. We're talking about significant impact on our ability to manage our diseases by the people that we're around. So what is social health? What is social health? So social health is, if we boil it down, it is your ability to form satisfying relationships, satisfy interpersonal relationships, and navigate social environments in a healthy, adaptive way. Let me say it again. Social health is your ability to form satisfying interpersonal relationships and navigate social environments in a healthy, adaptive way. And so there are lots of components to that, but three of the main components, or four of the main components. One, effective communication. So you got to know how to talk or write or however we communicate. If you guys are watching this in the future, maybe we have, I don't know. Right now we're everybody's in texting, right? Everybody's texting. You got to have empathy. So you have to be able to be empathic to the people. You have to be able to support each other. There's a sense of belonging and connection in our community, right? There's a sense of belonging. We get excited when we see each other. When I see Teresa or Cornelia or Pam. And then community and shared purpose. It's another part of social health. So effective communication, empathy and support, a sense of belonging and connection, and community and shared purpose. So when we talk about social health, that's it. And social health, let me just throw in there, because remember I told you we could change it to social/relational. So social health has to do with the quality of your relationships. Yeah. The quality of relationships. So when you have positive, meaningful relationships, your brain processes more oxytocin. And oxytocin is a hormone. That's the connection hormone. So when a mom has a baby, that bonding that happens because of oxytocin. It's that connection hormone. And when that happens, it lowers stress. You make better food choices when you're connected. Remember we talked about the habits, emotions, access, and taste, the HEAT model? A lot of that is driven because of lack of connection. You're more likely to move your body, more likely to get up. We're doing the 100-day walk to consistency. When you are connected, when you're in a relationship, you're more likely to move. And you handle challenges with more resilience. And remember, resilience is that ability to bounce back when something happens. Because not everything in your life is going to go the way you want it to go. But are you able to bounce back from that? Yeah. So let's talk about stress, safety, and the power of belonging. So traditionally, well, not even traditionally. So we are designed for connection. We are built for connection. Our nervous system, our hormones, we have hormones that make connection. Our nervous system likes connection. When that happens, when we are connected, our cortisol levels go down. Remember, cortisol is that stress hormone. When cortisol levels go down, then blood sugars aren't as high. When blood sugars aren't as high, insulin goes down. When insulin goes down, all of those downstream things go down. Weight goes down, cravings go down, our hunger goes down because remember, elevated insulin dysregulates ghrelin and leptin. But when cortisol is down, then we get all those downstream benefits. It lowers your inflammation in your body. So who would have thought that managing stress could help with inflammatory diseases? Like what? Like rheumatoid arthritis, like psoriasis, like alopecia. And it improves your blood sugar, which we just talked about. Because remember, stress causes two hormones to activate, well, not just two of the hormones that get activated during stress, epinephrine and cortisol. Epinephrine gets your body ready to do what it needs to do, and cortisol goes and it finds the energy for it to do it. So you see a tiger and you get ready to run. Epinephrine makes those muscles more responsive. And cortisol goes and gets sugar and dumps it in it. And when it dumps it, boom, you take off. It enhances your immune function. It helps you heal faster. It helps you get sick less. So when people are in community, they are healthier just by being in community. I want you to hear what I'm saying. There's nothing that's going on outside of the community. There's not some added thing that they're doing to the people. They just get connected to community. When that happens, they get healthier. They're more resilient. They have lower stress. The inflammation goes down. Blood sugars improve. Weight goes down because the insulin's gone. They're not craving so much. They're not getting triggered by the heat model. And it boosts your metabolic health. By promoting behaviors like sleep, you sleep better. Oh my goodness. You eat better. You're mindful. You're not just shoving stuff down. Because you're in community. It rewires your nervous system. This is the power of belonging. It improves emotional regulation. So I'm able to regulate my emotions better. So when things come, when things happen, because I'm in community, I can handle that better. I can think better about it. I don't have to. So here's one. Here's one. This just comes to me right now. When I'm in community, because I have community members, because I have people I could pick up the phone and call, I don't have to accept just what anybody gives me. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Did you hear what I just said? When I have community and I'm getting from the community the things that I need, I no longer have to just accept what you're giving me. Just one supportive conversation can stabilize your nervous system. I heard somebody say recently, and I can't remember where it was probably a podcast or somewhere. And they were saying that one of the issues that we have in our society right now is that we have lost community, right? We've lost that thing. And because we've lost community, remember in olden days, we had bowling clubs, we had car clubs, we would get together, we had block parties, we had all that stuff. And so the community supplied to us different things based on what we need. But now, because we don't have community, then we rely on our primary relationships to supply every single thing that we need in relation to this part of our lives. And the stress that puts on the relationship is incredible, because all of a sudden your husband or your wife or your brother or your sister, your cousin, your friend and them, right? They have to be the source for everything you need. Whereas before, your activities were done with your bowling group, right? Your friend girls and them would sit and y'all would chat. Right, you talk craziness. Maybe you had another group that y'all went and you watched the movies with. And so when you came into your primary relationship, it didn't have to supply all of that. Just came to my mind. So one friend walking with you could turn a sedentary day into a healing moment. Just one. One group like this can help you stay the course when motivation fades. I love seeing our group talking because the friendships, the relationship that's there is incredible. So we're talking about stress. We're talking about the safety. When we feel safe, oh, here's a good one. Here's a good one. Here's a good one. When we feel safe, our energy levels go up. Yeah. So relationships are reflective. When something happens, you give and that comes back. And the relationship mirrors how we see ourselves, because the people that we are in relationship with are mirroring from us what we're giving off. If you're surrounded by people who constantly criticize you or discourage you, you may begin to internalize that, right? And you start giving that off. But if your circle uplifts you, they speak life into you, they believe in you, they believe in your growth, then those voices become your internal soundtrack. See how that works? So if this is what a positive relationship does, what do you think a negative relationship does? Right? So toxic ties and toxic relationships cause damage. Those people that are around that are always criticizing, always seeing the fault, always, you can't do that, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't try that, why you want to do that, why do you want to improve? You get up, you want to go walking, man, you always try to walk. Yes, I am trying to walk. You're fasting. Why are you starving yourself? I made a comment to one of my friends, was this last year or year before, that I was fasting. And I remember talking to some folks about fasting. And my blood sugars were getting better. I was losing weight. I was feeling better. And I was telling somebody about the fast. And they said to me, don't overdo it. Right? So don't overdo it was their comment to me. And I thought to myself, I said, wait. When I was sitting at the table, shoveling food in, putting on weight, right? When I looked unhealthy, nobody said to me, don't overdo it. But now that I'm trying to get healthy, your comment is don't overdo it? Right? So the people that we surround ourselves with have a direct impact on how we behave, on how things work. The company you keep reveals the life you're building. Oh. So the company you keep reveals the life you're building. So if we're going to be healthy, I should say when we become healthy, in order for that to happen, then the people around us have to be people that are pushing us in that direction. If not, then we are setting ourselves up for difficulties, for challenges. So how do we build a healthy circle? How do we build a healing circle? And we got to be intentional. So one of the big drawbacks of, and I'm gonna put my hands up because I'm gonna talk about this. I'm gonna talk about me. So when I was growing up, right, and when you were growing up, it was easy to make friends. As a matter of fact, I just told you about some guys that I've known since whenever. And then when I've got another group of guys that we go away. So we go away in December, and this group of guys we go away in February. And so the guys that go to Jamaica with, the ones in February, those are guys I've known way back when. The guys I went away with in December, and we've started that tradition now. I think this was our 4th year. These are guys I met in college. So we are forced together by life circumstances. So a lot of the friends that we've made, a lot of friends that you have are people that you met because you were in a particular space. As we grow, as we become older, we lose those ready-made connections. And then we don't know how to make friends because we actually didn't learn how to make friends back then. We just became friends. Right? Now, some of those friends are amazing and the connections are great. Like the guys I know, I mean, these are amazing people. But as we grow, we lose the ability. We lose the know-how because we never learned those skills. So how do you build healthy social connections? You want it ready? Okay. Got to write this down. Write this down. Number one, you have to be intentional. You have to want to do it and you have to seek the opportunity to do it. You got to find the places. So if you're at your house, right, limitless living, one says we're not doing anything that's going to impinge or impede us from doing what we need to do. We're not allowing anything. So we're not sitting at the house. Because you got to be intentional. That means you got to get out. You've got to find the places where people are going to be. So here's some things, right? So one, strengthen your current circle. Sometimes we're trying to make more circle, a new circle, when the one that we have, we've just kind of let it do its thing. Strengthen it. So within that circle, like, okay, who are the people that are in this circle that I want to be in my group, to be in my healing circle? Now notice we've got circles within circles within circles. This is my healing circle. These are my folks that are going to push me. These are my folks who's going to be there for me. So call somebody, pick up the phone, call somebody, and plan to call them weekly. Now, here's the thing. I remember I picked the phone up, and there was a guy that I had not seen for years. And I picked up the phone, and I called. And this was as I was really kind of beginning to think and beginning to grow and beginning to move. And so I picked up the phone, and I called. And I didn't say what I wanted. I didn't go into the whole process. I just picked up the phone, and I called. So I called one week. And we chatted, caught up, and I called the next week. And then I called the next week. And by the third week, he said, hey, yo, Dwain, what do you need? Right? And because of the discomfort, first of all, right? Plus I'm a guy, right? So these are guys, right? So we don't, that's not kind of things that we do. And because of my discomfort, I didn't call again. And so that was a missed opportunity. So find some folks, call them weekly. Send a text of encouragement. And here's the thing. You are giving without expectation. Oh. Thank somebody for being in your corner. So I'm giving, I'm building, I'm feeding into, I am pouring into. So if I'm creating a healing circle, then the healing circle has to be built. It's not just going to happen. And I am now pouring into that healing circle by tapping someone and say, okay, I'm going to start here. Number two, set boundaries for your draining relationships. So I need a healing circle, and in that circle, I can't have people that are going to be pulling stuff out of me. Protect your time, protect your peace. Say, okay, I can't talk to you right now. You got to protect it. Because if we don't, then cortisol goes up, epinephrine, and so forth. And then expand your circle with intention. Join support groups, join a community, join a faith community, join a walking club, hobby circles. Step outside your comfort zone and see what is there. You may find new inspiration. Remember, what we're talking about is we're talking about metabolism, People ask me all the time, what does a relationship have to do with my diabetes? And it is an incredible thought, an incredible process for you to understand that your blood sugars are related to your relationships. Your weight is related to your relationship. The things you eat, the buffering that you do, the emotional eating that you do, the lack of sleep that you have is directly related to your relationships. Why do you think the heat model is so powerful? Because built into a lot of that is relationship. The habits we have comes from relationships, our families, our friends, on the job. So if I have a problem with a habit about eating, how do you think I can change the habit? By adjusting the relationships, by helping the relationships do better. So at work, I love when people come into the office and they'll say to me, we talk to them about what they're doing and exercising and they'll say to me, oh, me and my girlfriends at work, at lunch, we go walking. If it was just you wouldn't be going. And that happened because someone in the group said, hey, guys, can we walk at lunch? And they said, yeah, let's do it. All of a sudden, there's a walking group. Number 4, use technology wisely. Do virtual check-ins. Talk to your loved ones. Find uplifting social media communities. Disconnect from the digital noise that creates the comparison syndrome and the tension. And then be a source of connection for other people. Remember, you are creating the place that you want. The healing circle that you need, create it for yourself. And then you can invite people to the circle. So be a source of connection. You want to ask them questions. Ask people questions. Ask about them. How are they doing? Generally, how are they doing? Listen deeply. When I was doing my coaching certification, one of the things that they taught was active listening. We don't listen. We're so busy trying to figure out what we're going to say in response. And then encourage other people in their health and their healing. You can do that. You can be a source for them as well. And so how does the relational aspect fit into limitless living? Well, remember, limitless living says, I'm showing up with my best self, my best health, and my best plans for my life. I'm not allowing anything to hinder me. And right now, for a lot of us, the thing that's hindering us, the thing that's causing a problem is loneliness. It's lack of connection. It's the inability to pick up the phone to call someone who we know is going to be in our corner. We don't have that. A lot of people don't have that. And because we don't have that, here it comes. Because we don't have that, you know what's one of the most readily available friends? Food. And once food becomes the friend, once food provides the relief, once food provides the comfort, once food provides the ear, once food provides the ability to decrease our stress level, then food becomes the source. And we've already said that food is a big component in our dysregulated metabolism. So if we're going to be better, if we're going to see a better metabolism, if we're going to reverse our diabetes, we've got to develop better, more contented, more satisfying relationships. And if we can do that, we are ultimately setting ourselves up for success. So as you're doing the limitless living inventory, as you're looking at that wheel, don't negate the social/relational aspect of the wheel. Because we'll go walking. We'll work on our diet. We'll work on our sleep. We'll talk about our mental capacity. We'll start going to church. We'll start yogaing. But we won't spend time building relationships. And that is paramount. It is not an option. I know some of you might be thinking a couple of things. So let's address them. One, you're thinking, yeah, but I've been hurt. Limitless living says that there's nothing inside of me that's going to prevent me from doing what I need to do. So there's been some hurt. Some of your relationships have not been the things that you needed. As a matter of fact, some of the people that you thought were going to help you along your health journey turned out to be the ones that sabotaged your journey because they kept bringing donuts and cookies and candies and cakes. But you've been hurt in other ways. By familial relationships, by friend relationships, by occupational relationships. We've been hurt. But limitless living says that we're not allowing that to prevent us from doing what we need to do. We've got to address that. Maybe we need therapy. We need to find a way to stop or to get out of that situation. But we're not allowing it to stop us. Some of you are thinking, I don't know where to start. I want it. I don't know where to start. Find a club. Join this community. Begin pouring into a community that you want to grow. Find somebody at your job and say, hey, let's go walking. That's a place to start. Go next door. If you're in your study right now, or turn over in the bed and find the person laying next to you. Say, hey, let's go walking. Start there. For you in the community, get into the Kajabi. Start there. Some of you are thinking, I don't have time. This is an interesting one. And for me as well, right? So I'm not just picking on you. I'm stepping on my own toes right now. I have time for every single thing that I want to do, but I don't have time for relationships. I'm telling you, I'm stepping on my own toes right now. Like I'm here with you. I'm in the community. I do videos. I do 4 shows a week. I do a walking episode every single morning. I'm creating content. I see patients all day. Here's the thing. There are 1,440 minutes in every day. 1,440. And aside from sleeping, we give most of that away to other people. And when I say other people, I'm not talking about the community or the relationships I'm talking about building. We give it away to the job, to other people who ask us to just do stuff. We don't take any for ourselves. And this right here, building a relationship, building community, that's for you. That's for me. So it's not an aside. It is essential if that wheel is going to work. Here's the other thing you're thinking. People don't understand what I'm going through. And I get that. I get that. That's the beauty of community. Because there are some times when I say some stuff with my friends, like we went to Jamaica and we sitting around. And guy, this was such a guy's trip, by the way. Like we did not have an itinerary. Our goal was to go to Jamaica. That's it. We got our bags. We showed up in Jamaica. That was the plan. So we're sitting at the house and one of us would say something and we would spend the next 15, 20 minutes laughing or talking. We didn't have to explain to each other what that meant. When you say to me that, man, I was coming home, and I got to the house, and such happened, and I just had those 3 cookies, you don't have to explain to me what that means. Because I've been there, done that. May do it again. But find the place where that's your tribe. That's the people. If you have a quirky sense of humor and you're in a place where people don't get your sense of humor, maybe that's not your tribe. Find the place. People don't understand. I get it. So let's address a couple of things. Of those things I just said. So start small. Start small. A short message to somebody. A 5-minute walk, a 10-minute walk, a comment in a community like this one. It all counts. That's where you start. Practice vulnerability. Let someone know you're trying to build healthier connections. My mistake with the friend that I told you, or the guy I was trying to connect with, was I didn't say, hey, this is what's going on. Had I done that, I think that would have been a better way of approaching that. Hey man, I'm working on me. I'm trying to surround myself with positive people. And I remember when we were wherever we were. And I would love for us to have a connection. Right? I'll tell you that's hard for guys, by the way. It is. So if you're a guy out there watching it, I know that's not how we talk. That's not what we do. Right? We'll bump into somebody on the court and, we make a connection and we go like that. But to pick up the phone and to do that for us is huge. But limitless living says that we're not allowing those challenges to prevent us from doing what we need to do. Stop trying to be perfect. Release perfection. Relationships are messy. Wow. I'm talking to myself right there. Relationships are messy. The goal is progress, not perfection. And not performance. And then create what you need. If you can't find a support group, start one. Someone else is looking for that group as well. And you can be the source to start that group. There's a, I think it's a book. There's also a show, not a show, but a movie that they did, a documentary. Food as Medicine. Right, you guys have heard that one? I think it's a book. Food is medicine, medicine is food, something like that. But I want you to know that connection is also medicine. Social connection is one of the most powerful, underestimated, underrated tools for reversing chronic illness. So not just reversing chronic illness, but also sustaining change and for living a limitless life. The limitless living journey is not meant to be walked alone. This is a community of hope. This is a place where we remind each other, where we commune with each other, where we build each other. You are not broken. You are sufficient the way you are. And you are becoming better. Let me go through that again. You are not broken. You are sufficient just the way you are, with all of your flaws, all of your quirks, your funny sense of humor, the big nose, the buck tooth, the cross-eyed, whatever it is, the weight. You are sufficient right now in yourself. You are not broken. You are growing, you are expanding, and you are becoming. And Limitless Living says that anything I've got to do out there in terms of relationship or in here in my perspective, I'm going to do. Because I'm not letting any boundaries prevent me from doing what I need to do. So this week, this is what I want you to do. This is your challenge. I want you to reach out to somebody intentionally. Reach out to somebody intentionally. Build one new bridge or repair an old one that is beneficial. So I'm not talking about going back to craziness. Right? Build a new one or repair one that's old. That's your challenge for this week. Because if we can do that, we get to build the kind of social health, the kind of relational health that helps us all thrive together. And we're moving into that limitless life. Awesome, awesome. All right, man, I love this conversation. And do you see the interplay with the domains of health and with our metabolism? There is a connection there. We often negate that, but don't negate it. Let's hop over. Let's take a look at some blood sugars. And then we'll come over and say hi to some of our community members. Actually, I'm going to do this because I don't want this to log out. So let me do some stuff here first. And then I'll come over. Let's say hi to community members, and then we'll go to blood sugars. All right, let's see what we got. So Cornelia was saying yes, so we said that. Pamela says yes. Natalie, hey. Natalie said hello, everyone. Cornelia saying hello. Teresa says hi, Natalie. Gian, hi, doctor. Hi, lovely Wood gang. Gian says, I'm sorry I'm late. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, you're just on time. Hi, Gian, we're glad you made it. That's right. Teresa says yes. Thank you all. I hope doctor's voice gets better soon. Yeah. It got better. If you guys remember a couple weeks ago, it was like crazy. And then it got better. And then the weather changed and the pollen came out. And this is what I've got right now. Gian, I think he's in just tired from the trip. And all the stuff that's going on. Gian said, I see Teresa. Natalie said, stop reading our minds, doc. Hey, you know what? This is the beauty of community because it's there, right? It permeates the space. So I'm reading minds, yes, but reading minds because it's right here too. The same things that you're going through. Teresa said, Natalie, your brother is very gifted. Natalie says, indeed. Teresa says, he has recently helped me, and I thank God for him. Oh, thank you, Teresa. Glad you just said that. Vivian Barnes. Hey, Vivian, let me give you a hand clap and some music. Thank you for coming through. She says, encouraging topic. Yeah, this is an amazing one. And Cornelia says, Thank you, Dr. Wood, for that message. Oh man, yeah. Love it. All right. So a couple of things that I want you to know. Number one, if you have not been with us on our journey, our 100-day walk to consistency, you want to make sure that you join us. We are coming up on the end of that series, 100 days. 100 days of walking, 100 days of consistency, 100 days of putting yourself first, 100 days of showing up. Remember, rhythm, alignment, and structure. Rhythm, alignment, and structure. We often don't succeed, not because we don't have drive, not because we don't have motivation, not even because we don't have know-how. We don't succeed because we don't have structure. And the 100-day walk to consistency gives us the structure that you need every day, 30 minutes a day, roughly, in the morning. So you come and you get to hang out and you get to learn and you get to move in a space where you are learning and you are taking charge of your health. 100-day walk to consistency. You want to make sure that you join that. If you're just now going to join, it's out there. We've broken it up into weeks. So there are 100 episodes that we're going to end up doing. And each week is broken up, so you can go through each week. There's a different thing that we're learning. Let me go ahead and I'm going to pull that up really quickly. Let's do it this way. Okay? So each of the weeks is something new, right? So you can go ahead and you can begin walking through that process, walking through the episodes, and they're there, right? So let's see. You'll see me walking. And as I'm walking, I'm talking, I'm sharing stuff, and we are setting up a consistent plan. When we talk about limitless living, there are several components. We're doing the fasting, so join us later this week as we fast. We're doing the activity, right, because we're taking care of our physical body. We are learning as we're talking, learning as we're walking. Balanced bites, how do we eat? All of that is with the intention of providing the tools that you need to be successful. And so that means that you have to understand that everything we do is based on the Triple E formula for success. We educate, we empower, and we encourage. We educate with the blogs, we educate with the podcast, we educate with the show, Dwain Woode MD Live. That's our main show, by the way, right? Every Monday, right here, 7 p.m. Central. We educate with that because it's a mindset. We're changing. We're giving you a different perspective. How do I look at it this way? How do I look at it that way? What do I need to do? We empower with the tools. The 100-day walk to consistency. Fasting, when we do our fasting check-ins. Balanced bites. How to create a menu. All of those are with the intention of providing power, because the theory is great, but it does not take life until you infuse it with behavior. We infuse it with action. So when you pick up the phone and you call somebody this week, when you reach out, when you make that connection, you are infusing the stuff we just learned with power. And then we encourage. We educate, we empower, and we encourage. We encourage with the community. You cannot do it alone. I encourage you, join the community. Join this community if you've not already done so. This is an amazing group of folks that's here. You, right below on your screen, you should see the community, the join. You can go there and join the community because the group that we have is amazing. So we educate, we empower, and we encourage you. That's how we work. Come back later this week as we go ahead and we will be doing our check-ins for our fasting. We do a fast every week. We'll do that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We'll be back on Saturday night at 9 o'clock for the video from the vault. We'll be back on Sunday morning for This Week in Review. And we will be back next Monday as we continue our path down the domains of health, this mini series that we're doing. So now we've gone, this is going to be our fifth, right? So five of the pillars of the domains. We got 3 more to go as we move through this pathway. All of these are with the intention of getting that wheel moving in the right direction. Okay? All right. Oh, I see somebody just hop on. Let me just hop back over here to say hello. I see Lorraine Elliott. She says, how do I join? And Lorraine, let me go ahead and I'm going to pop that in the, I'm going to pop that in the chat. There you go. Okay, that should be in the chat. That's the link for joining. But yes, I think, let's go back over here. There we go. Yeah, there's the chat. So I want you to remember that you are sufficient. You're sufficient in the way you are. You're sufficient in the space that you find yourself. And you're sufficient even though you're working on getting better. Hey, this is Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life, avoid complications, and go to the next level. We're creating the life we've always wanted, and we're living a limitless life. And limitless living says that we're not allowing anything to prevent us, anything from outside or anything from inside, from doing what we need to do to be successful. We're presenting our best self, our best health, and our best plans for our life. Thank you for joining me. This is Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. Let's do it. I'll see you at the next episode. Good night, everybody.